Hi and welcome to LiamLoveLight. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're returning again, a very warm welcome back to you and thank you for joining. Well, who'd have guessed it? Didn't expect to see you here. Well, my goodness. Well, this has been quite an honour to be sharing this beautiful full moon with you. We've just hit a full moon in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is a very, very fun sign because it's about us really going deeper into ourselves, but it's also the mental. So it's about higher aspects of thinking. Now, the interesting thing is on the 13th of December at 22 degrees and 25 minutes, we had a full moon in Gemini, and that was at 4:05 Pacific and 12:05 p.m. UK time. So this is a very auspicious time for us connecting into these cycles, because full moons will always shine a light on where it falls. So where does it fall for you in your chart? It's important to have a look at that. If you're quite new to astrology, it's okay. And if you are interested, I tend to use the website called www.astro.com, and what I do then is I put in all the data in there, and I use the whole house system, because that's the house system that I use, and I can then actually track what my progress planets are doing during that time and what houses they're in, and that will really give an indication on what's coming to fruition, what's coming to culmination, what's coming to an end, because that's what full moons are really about. They're about us really looking at what's closing and what's completing, and also in what area that's going to be in is very, very important for us, and it gives more meaning to what I'm saying here. So if you want to personalize it to yourself, that's how you do it, and you can do it through learning for yourself. Astro.com is free, so it's a great site to use. All my astrologer friends use that, and it's a good starting point, so you might want to have a look into that. So what's happening in the skies at this period? Now, Geminis also have got a very good sense of humour, very unusual sense of humour as well. So you might be thinking, what was he saying at the beginning? Well, I'm a little bit crazy myself, some people say, but it's because I've got a very wild sense of humour, and that's also because of some of the Gemini energy that I have. The interesting thing with what's going on with the skies at the moment is we've got a lot of movements in the planets. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So here we go. And it goes like this. There's a paradigm change which is occurring at the moment, and with that paradigm change, we're going to be treating each other differently, and we're going to be treating each other with more respect moving forward. And this is a really wonderful thing. There's going to be more respect for each other and more respect for the Earth. And a lot of this is actually because of the change that's going on between Pluto, that Pluto and Uranus. Now in the 60s, I spoke about this before. In the 60s, they were opposed. We had these movements with music, with innovation, and with all the flower power and craziness that came with it. But there was also a spiritual awakening during that time, and we're having what's called so where there was where there was that opposition in the 60s, we now have a square, which is also being expanded by Jupiter as we move more into 2020. So these are going to be an accumulation of themes that are going to be coming up. So this is going to be really important. Now, during this time as well, especially during this full moon, we've got the sun in its opposite sign, so that's going to be in the sign of Sagittarius, and we've got Saturn, which is going to ground us as it's in Sagittarius as well. So we're really helped during this time as well by a grand trine here, and the grand trine is in the air. Got that there in the end. I mean, I'm actually in the midst of this full moon in Gemini. I mean, it's just wonderful, it's exciting, it's a bit wild as well, and it's making me a bit crazy. So let me get back to this while I'm still on track here. Okay, so we've got a triangle, a grand trine in, and we've got Gemini in the moon, Moon in Gemini there. We've got Jupiter in Libra, and we've got Mars in Aquarius. Now this is going to really help us develop a deep vision for the future, and it's just really important again for us to really sort of take take effect of the importance of having a spiritual practice in our everyday lives to really help us as we move forward. Because one of the big things that's coming out of this, and I think this is one of the key messages to take away from this, not just about the moon cycles here, but really about us looking at the wider picture of why we're here on this earth, and what we're doing. No matter who you are, where you're going, who you meet, etc. We are souls, and we are part of a bigger picture. We are stars in a solar system here, in a system with the planets up there, but we're stars in our own rights. Many of the theologians and philosophers have spoke about us being dying stars that come to life and go back to that. And there's a deep philosophical, a school of thought around that. And we are stars. That's where we come from, and we go back to that. So we do have this cause and effect. And part of that is about how we're going to be shifting from a third dimensional reality into a fifth dimensional reality, how we're waking up, and you'll be feeling that bit by bit. Many of you have already felt the strong urges of waking up and actually changing your life and doing lots of positive things that have been moving you from these heavy these heavy environments and heavy ways that we've lived our lives into much more lighter ways of living, so it's gone from the ego consciousness into the heart consciousness. And that really is where we've moved from the third dimension into the fifth dimensional reality. So we've gone from what I've been speaking about so often here, from Saturn square Neptune, which has been about the smoke and mirrors, that is starting to dissolve. And on the 28th of December, we're going to feel that the Saturn is going to square exactly Chiron in Pisces. Now, Chiron is often known as the wounded healer, and Chiron is the planet about healing. So we'll be feeling during this period coming up to the 28th of December, from now until then, and you'll certainly be feeling it, that it's almost like something inside of ourselves, the way that we feel very tender and, very sensitive. Not just from the full moon, but from the fact that any of those things that you haven't healed will start coming to the surface, because it is about how we're going to heal ourselves. And it's about us really becoming much more self-sufficient in ourselves and seeking higher aspects of ourselves. So often we have to go deep in order to heal, in order to experience the healing that needs to take place. And it's reminding us, how far have we come? What have you done in order to resolve the issues that have often held you back? Have you let go of those fears? Have you turned them into love? Have you really gone deep into yourself, or are you still superficial and you lead a very superficial life? Well, all the planets, everything that's going on is here to wake us up, because we're here to complete a cycle in life. Everything goes through cycles. And if you're holding back from that, well, it's going to be a very turbulent time for you. But if you go more with the flow, and you allow yourself to just flow with the beautiful seas, for example, then you'll really enrich yourself in the understanding of just the beauty of how we can be heart-centered, and just how that type of lifestyle really does bring you the most joy and most happiness, because it just sets you free on every level. So this is a very auspicious time. Now, do you recognize? Okay, so we've got quartz crystal here. This is the crystal which I feel is the most auspicious and powerful one during this time, because what I love about quartz is quartz can help us connect to our higher selves. It can help us attract what we want, detract what we don't want. It can just do everything. And if we surround ourselves with, using our, look at the way it just catches the light though. These are just magical. They're just, oh gosh, look at them. They're just so alive. These are my friend. I love you. And these ones, you can bring them to bed with you. You can, you can meditate with them. You can cut cords with them. You could, you can just do everything with these. So get your quartz out anywhere it is. Carry it with you. If you need to connect in, it's a great time to do it. Really, really use quartz crystal, and it comes from the earth. It's very, very powerful. You can use it for everything and anything. You need to clear a chakra. If you've got health problems, you can always connect in using that. And of course, you've got the angels as well, and all these beautiful other energies of all these great ascended masters and goddess energies that I've been talking about for this whole year here. But as we connect in, I'm going to connect into the angelic realm. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Chamuel and Archangel Metatron. I'm going to ask them if they've got any messages for us during this period. And I'm going to call upon them. Archangel Michael, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Metatron, be with me now. Archangel Michael, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Metatron, be with me now. Archangel Michael, Archangel Chamuel, Archangel Metatron, be with me right now and help me convey a message to this beautiful audience out there today. And so, as I connect in, I really do feel this beautiful presence in my heart. All of this very, very powerful energy. And it's beautiful because I know what they're telling me here is to find strength during this time. You know, you're stronger than you think you are. Always know that. That's a very, very powerful message that's coming through here. You know, and the first thing that comes through here is a message which is about us finding balance. Here we go. It's about us finding balance in the way that we do things here. It's about us really connecting in there and finding ourselves a place where we can be and find harmony in ourselves so that we can allow things to manifest and to grow, because there's going to be a lot of innovation that's going to be taking place during this time, because we also have a trine aspect here which is between Uranus and Saturn, and it's about innovation because that Uranus energy is in Aries and it's going to allow us to seek innovation to help us become even more self-sufficient there. So in order for us to allow that creative energy there to come through so we can recognize it, we need to find balance first, because without balance, if the whole universe, for example, let me tell you something here. I'm very clear, this is the Gemini energy here, so very clear, as it's coming through here, they're saying to me, good way for you to understand this is, if the whole cosmos wasn't in balance, how on earth would the solar system work? How would the sun move the way it needs to around the moon, around the earth, everything moves around? If they weren't in balance, how would things work out? So why do you feel, perhaps sometimes, that things are not working out for you when you're not in balance yourself? Fundamental key, get yourself into balance. Get that meditative state, that spiritual practice in a daily life. What works for you? What works for me may not work for you. It's about experimenting with yourself so that you can find ways that will help, you know, you grow and experience deeper aspects of yourself, so you can find this, you know, this centerness, this now, being in the now, this, you know, this person that is at peace. So you're not going to be this, and this is what this is. Look, discontent and bored. This is ego consciousness. Oh, I'm bored. I'm fed up. I don't like the situation that I'm in. I don't like this. I don't like. This is not heart-centered. This is ego-centered, and it's about us not being in balance so that we can create. Look at this heart-centeredness here. This is what they're telling us. Be heart-centered. Allow that feminine energy to flow from within your heart so that you can experience higher aspects of yourself. You can experience the truth of who you truly are. Not this. I'm bored because things haven't worked out. He hasn't said things. She hasn't said things. This situation isn't working because... This is drama. This is like ego consciousness. This is what we've moved away from. So, very strong message here. Very beautiful message. And thank you very, very much for being so clear about it. We need to find daily practices. We need to find ways in which we can find peace and harmony in our everyday life, so we can allow ourselves to create the lives that we want to and experience our true essence and allow the universe to bring, look at this, all these beautiful leaves which are coming from the ether of the universe, so that we can create new experiences and new energies that we can actually work with as we become much more powerful co-creators. And that's the message for this full moon. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Love you from my heart. And share this video and share yourself the wonders of who you are. Bye for now.